YouTube, Ozzy going the Goat House is back with more record predictions for the 2020 NFL season. Doing this video for every single team. This is only the second video. We're going to rip out around 2 of these a day. We have other videos on the channel. I'm going to give you my record prediction, my actual record prediction, and then we'll kind of go back and look at what could change, which close games can go the other way, what could be the best case perhaps or the worst case scenario, doing that for every team. So you kind of get 3 different looks here. My final prediction is what we do first. And before we get started, we're real close to that 50K subscriber goal. We're about 500, just under 500 subscribers off, actually. So the support's been absolutely amazing. Really appreciate you guys. You're going to want to follow that Twitter. We're going to have some polls and ways you guys can get involved in videos in the very near future, I'm hoping, with that Twitter. So it's a must-follow. Link down below for that and many other things, including the podcast. Quite a few episodes out. A lot more to come. We're on Apple and Spotify. Really excited about that going forward. To the Dolphins, kind of breaking down this team. They got a lot better. This team got a lot better, and that's the tough part. That's the tough part because you look at the schedule, and it's a pretty brutal schedule, in my opinion, one of the tougher ones. So you may say this team got better, so that means they're going to have a better record than the last year. I'd say not so fast, really. I mean, we'll see what I come down to. I haven't really done this yet game by game. I'm doing it live with you guys here, but they could be a better team with the worst record because of the schedule here, and there's a lot of adjustments. Most of the time when teams get a lot of new faces and a lot of new additions, it takes some time for them to click. We saw a team like the Packers last year, a lot of new defenders, and they pretty much clicked right off the bat. So that's kind of the good news. That kind of gives you hope. But most of the time, it's an adjustment period. But I really like what they did. I'm a big Tua fan. I hope he stays healthy. I'm still worried about the offensive line. The offensive line got better, but that's not really saying a lot from where it came from. There's still an adjustment period. It still has a little bit of ways to go. Receiver unit I think is pretty underrated. I like the receiver unit. And then you look at the defense. Love the Kyle Van Noy addition. The corners look good, but it depends on how long they gotta cover this scoring unit because how the question is where I'm heading to is where's the pass rush gonna be at? Yeah, you got that Van Noy, that utility type linebacker that's gonna provide some pass rush. He does more though. You might need some more. Will they be still lacking in that department? They're heading in the right direction everywhere, and I think a pretty darn good team for the future. But that's a pretty tough schedule here. Starting with week 1. I actually got them stealing week 1. I think the Patriots are another team that has to go through a lot of adjustments, and we've seen them kind of do that every year, even when they're at their best with Tom Brady, with all these big-time players. They start off a little slow, and then they really start getting going. They identify themselves, the season, the game plan. So I think, both these teams kind of have the element of surprise here with who's playing, how do we game plan for these teams, and, it's hard to doubt Belichick in the game plan, but I just got the Dolphins sneaking in here week 1 and pulling this off. Remember week 1, maybe weeks 1 and 2, maybe even 3, random things happen every single year. You can't really predict it, and you definitely can't have any takeaways for the rest of the season based off early. That applies to every single NFL season. Week 2, I think the Bills are the much better team right now. That doesn't mean they win. Not the better team doesn't always win. Last year, I always go back to last year. The Browns just beating up on the Ravens didn't really mean much, But I do have the Bills here. I think they're just more prepared in this game. The better team. Dolphins at Jags. This is tough. People predicting the Jags to be. Yeah, you may be on one of the bottom teams in the league this year, but this is Thursday night in Jacksonville. There is one thing I really like from the Jags, and that's that edge rush presence. It's that pass rush, and that could be a big factor in this game. The Dolphins' weak spot still being the offensive line, depending on who's at quarterback. Seen Fitzpatrick take a lot of sacks last year, but then Tua, who I expect to be there, you don't want to get him getting hit too much. That could be a problem. So I got the Jags. Even though the Dolphins might have overall the better team, I'm taking the Jags in that one Thursday night at home. And then you got the Seattle Seahawks. You see the Seahawks kind of blow some of these games like this, but it's tough to pick against them in this early in the season. The more well-prepared team, Russell Wilson, and they'll be my winners for week 4 as of now. And then you got the Niners. Yeah, it's another tough one. I really worry about, and they have a tough decision because I really worry about them with pass rush, dominant pass rush. And you see this is the tough part of the schedule. You play the Jags, have a really good pass rush, and you play a really good Seahawks team. Maybe not the best pass rush, but it's a really good team. And you play the Niners pass rush. The Broncos, people forget Bradley Chubb missed last year. Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, Vic Fangio's defense. It's going to be a problem for them. That's a tough stretch there. I do, maybe we'll see a Tua versus Herbert here, and the defense of the Chargers could be the factor. You see more of the pass rush. I just, feeling about this one, I got Tua pulling this one off if he's playing, at home here against the Chargers. And then you play the Rams. I wish you play the Rams a little later. I think that's a better time to play them. I think this one could be a shootout, an absolute shootout. I'll take McVay's offense in the shootout here. And then you play Arizona, another one of those where, the Cardinals are going to put up a lot of points in this Dolphins defense, I think. And, they're a unique type of tough-to-game plan offense. And the Cardinals actually bring some pressure, too. So I'll take the Cardinals out. So it's a rough start, 2-7. Again, I think the Dolphins team is better than last year in terms of evaluating their roster, but this is tough. It's a tough schedule. Then you play the Jets, and then they'll grab one on the Jets. And again, at the end of this, I will go back and change some close calls, and we'll see what the best case scenario can be for the Dolphins. So I know Dolphins fans probably aren't happy with me yet, and some of them are going to say, "How are we worse? We got better." And I think that's flawed when people say that. You got to look at the schedule, what's going on with the other teams. It's not just about the one team. What's going on with the other teams as well. Then you got the bye week. Week 11 just sucks. Honestly, it's just. You start to get wear and tear down here. Guys need an extra break. They're trying to adjust to playing in the season. There's always an adjustment, so it's tough. And then you play, at the Jets. I will take the Jets in that one. They split. I had Joe Burrow winning the Burrow versus Tua duel. I know there's more than that, and the Bengals could be a sneaky team. That defense got a lot of young talent. They could be stepping up this year, and the Chiefs got too much offense for them. We had the Patriots actually falling at home here. The Dolphins could beat them twice. See how they played them pretty well. Seeing the end of the year, last game of the season, which costed pretty much Patriots their seeding, but a little more than that. But I do have them splitting. Then the Raiders at home. If this was flipped, maybe Miami. And then I had Buffalo. So it's tough seeing that 3-13. I think Dolphins, I think they got a lot better. And it's tough. They did get a lot better, but the record, the outcome may not show that. But you kind of go back and look what can go either way. They may be better than the Jags. So why not? Why can't they beat the Jags there? I did have them beating the Chargers, though. That's another one that can go either way. Maybe they can sneak one on the Rams here. Maybe they, being home against the Bengals, maybe they take that. I think you could throw. I don't know if they beat the Jets twice. They could beat the Jets twice. That could be 7-9. I mean, look at these Patriots. Maybe they grab one of these. Maybe they can beat the Patriots twice. So I'm thinking, best case scenario, 8-8. The three wins is almost, kind of what I'm predicting because of the schedule. But it's hard to see them any worse than that. So. Maybe they can pull this off, 8-8 here. Just don't really see much more than that, though. This is the tough stretch right here. Really the 5-6 is the one that hurts a little bit. At San Fran, at Denver, the two dominant defenses, perhaps a pass rush. Teams with some offense too. Don't forget. So, that's a tough part about the Dolphins. Again, they got better, evaluating this roster, evaluating the free agency, what they did in the draft. They're heading in the right direction. Like Flores as a coach, they're heading in the right direction. They did get better. It just might not show right away. I really like this team for the future. I really do. Another draft coming. They have the Texans first-round pick, don't forget, too. They have 2 first-round picks coming up, in this next draft class, which are a long ways away. So, they got some. I call that insurance almost. You don't want to think about what if Tua just. What if it's just not right? Maybe he's just not right after the injury, a little bit of a risk of the pick. Just maybe. I'm going to say very low chance. But let's just say they have that backup plan. They have those 2 first-round picks. And they also can use, they can package up on the offensive lineman and would be the best case scenario there. So the future is definitely looking bright. It has a rough schedule for the Dolphins, though, for me. But really love the additions to this team this offseason. Let me know your guys' thoughts. If you got your record predictions, go to playoffpredictors.com. That's where I did all these videos, really. Playoffpredictors.com. You can make your predictions game by game. Very cool. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Click that like button. Subscribe to both of our channels. Follow us on Twitter. There's a link in the description and in the comments for everything you need there. Really appreciate the support from everyone. Really appreciate you for watching this video. That's going to do it. Goodbye.